Good evening. And how is everyone tonight? Whee!
Drift is connected to chat at 56k baud.
Total chaos.
Edgybat has entered chat.
Classic. Hey, old type. How you doing? Good to see you again. Drift, evening. Etchibat, welcome. Welcome. My Saturday was full of physical labor. I just turn this music down a bit. I'm all right. I can't complain. Can't complain. But we're putting a new shed in our backyard. And over the last 2 weeks, I've been having to do a lot more physical labor than I'm used to. Frankly put. Yeah. So today I framed in the base that it's going to sit on. Out of probably some of the most expensive lumber I've ever purchased. Frankly. I mean, it's a 2x4 frame. 2x4 framed base with pressure treated lumber. It's all pressure treated lumber, including the plywood, because we live in a tropical region of Canada, and so like, what would you guess a 12-foot by 8-foot platform made out of 2x4s and plywood would cost? What do you think that would cost in terms of lumber? Now, I mean, I know this isn't a carpentry channel. 300 USD? Yeah. Any other guesses? You're low. More than 300 USD. It cost 1,300 Canadian dollars. What's that, about $1,000 for an 8x12 pressure treated platform? Last time I bought pressure treated 3/4 inch pressure treated plywood, I think I paid $50 a sheet. They were $220. Etchy Bat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's lovely. King Yuchi, enjoy the subscription. Thanks, Etchy Bat. You're the bestest. Well, who knows, right? Drift? Like, I mean, it might, like, honestly, I felt like I was buying high during a Bitcoin peak, Like, I really felt that, but we need the thing, right? So it's like, I got to do this. And, it's just like, anyway, what's done is done. It's just money. We can always make more of it. With the printing facilities that are going in the new shed. I'm joking. I'm not a counterfeiter. Etchy Bat, thank you so much for that sub. Thank you. You're the best. King Yuchi, welcome. How are you? How are you doing tonight? How is everyone tonight? White Wolf, popping in for a bit, although I probably won't be on for too long. Tired Fox tonight. White Wolf, this is what White Wolf has eminently purchased. Everybody. Don't know if you've seen this one. It's too rich for my blood. But, what did I write in Discord? You guys would get a kick out of this. I said, I said, you have found the literal antithetical of Mamoru Nagano's mecha design philosophy. But it's I mean, don't tell me you're not looking at that thinking, yeah, I could see that on my shelf. I could see that on my shelf. My first thought was thick thighs save lives. It's true. Freaking love bazookas. Yeah, anyway, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Here, I'll drop the link in chat in case anybody wants to flip through the pictures. Go on, chat. There we go. But don't everybody like sell out. Don't buy them all before White Wolf Severance comes in. My issue with it is like in terms of Canadian dollars, that's like a $650 endeavor before could very well see it on the shelf. I'd be buying for it. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's awesome. It's definitely awesome. I was just trying, I was trying to sort of put forward in Discord was like, that is awesome. I would love one of those, but when you get up into those, like, for me, when the price goes beyond like $400, I have a very select list of things that I want. I have some grails that I don't make too many spur of the moment 400 plus decisions. Yeah, the Sazabi, the YJL Sazabi is yeah, I mean, I have that kit, and I don't know if I'll ever do that one. Anyway, I hope everyone's well. It's great to see Mr. Chan Chan back on. He's going right now still, probably, hey? Lots of fun. So I've gone ahead and primed like everything. The entire kit's been primed now, except for that. Dual watching, yeah, absolutely. I think most of Twitch does. Need their Chan fix. That Dom though. I can't do that. Can't do what, Drift? Dual watch? I have a hard time with it as well. I certainly can't listen to audio from multiple channels. I can watch I can put a 2 or 3 on screen, but I can't have all the audio playing in them. I can maybe have audio in 2 of them. Yeah. Anyway, probably won't go as late as last night tonight because I'm absolutely exhausted physically. But probably thinking around 1:30. Everything is muted beside the stream on Tape God Plays. Aren't you King Uchi? Aren't you a moderator on some of those other channels? Yeah, can't mod, busy. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Walk it off, guys. Walk it off. Too good. So Drift, let's talk about this competition because I have questions. You posted in Discord, and I have questions. Let me just bring that up. Let me just open that up. You would, King Yuji. You would. Because I actually like where Drift is taking it. He's taking it somewhere where I like the restrictions that you've put in place. So let me just find the link. Was it in Chit Chat? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So, yeah, it's here. So, for a Kit Bash challenge, I think everyone involved submits a cheap model kit. Anything but mech. Any reasonable scale. We vote on 2 kits from all of the submissions, and those kits become part repositories for the challenge, and everyone gets and builds from only those 2 kits. As far as anything outside of the kits that can be used, he's debating. Drift, that is debating. Do we want to strictly stick to materials within the boxes of the chosen kits, or can styrene or other embellishments be added? Definitely no foundational additions. It'd be limited to, at most, detailing. For comparison, the fuel tanks that I made would not be allowed, unless made using other kit parts. But filling the back of the gun with putty and adding wires would be allowed. And the goal is to build a mech, to which the definition of a mech is up to the builder. So let me see here. So what Drift is saying is, okay, I like these rules. And I might even think about them a bit and maybe give you suggest some other ideas. But well, King Yuchi, have you ever put together a model? But because I mean, it's basically just make a Franken robot out of 2 models. It might be a tractor and a P-51 Mustang. Well, I don't know. So this was made entirely out of styrene and lead solder and scribe, some screws. What else did I use? And Abe's epoxy sculpt. You've done Lego. It's really only slightly harder. Glue is scary. So yeah, Drift, I think something like this should not be allowed. The way that I made this. It should not be allowed. Because if we want to make this accessible to people like King Yuchi, like I have a and you probably do too, and I know Echibat probably has 3 drawers full of styrene and other expensive modeling things that you stockpile over the years. I think most people probably don't have access to those, so it immediately puts anyone like myself or yourself or Echibat at an immediate advantage. A small box of styrene. Yeah, I mean, the point of these challenges, I think they're more fun if they're accessible to everybody, which means, if the base cost is only a couple kits, great, right? But then how do you, if that's what you can afford, that's great. But then all of a sudden, if the level 10 people show up and they're like, well, I have parts from 430 other models that I've never used. I'm going to use those as well. I just think it'd be a little unfair. And that's right. It also leads to perhaps, just like Drift said, far more creative out of the box thinking with what you have, because you have a very base amount of materials from those two kits. I like your idea of not limiting it to just the sprues as well.
Unpredictable Artist has entered chat. And this is her badass introduction.
How you doing, Unpredictable? Welcome. We're just talking about a model building challenge that I think you should enter once we figure out what it is exactly. That's an awesome intro. Yeah, we're discussing the idea of doing a little challenge, competition type thing, whatever's not TOS. I don't know. I don't know. Modeling challenges aren't anything we need to worry about, are they? But to King Yuchi's point, I meant to say. I think it's accessible, possible. Yeah, I mean, nippers and glue, right? And by nippers, Ichibat means these. Nah, you're legally good. Do I have to? Well, you can use this kind of glue, right? Which has no smell, no taste. Wait, did he say no taste? How does he know that? And so what you're suggesting, Drift, let me get back to talking about this, is limit it to like very minor items. Like we could have a few little things, like you can use a small amount of solder or wire in addition, just to kind of bring it together, but they can't be like fundamental parts of the kit. Like you can't use a giant bundle of solder to make an entirely new part. Is that what you were thinking? I'm also unclear about the fact that you're allowing putty. Like you are. Did I grab that piece? So like you were alluding to this mod that I did. Hard to see because it's prime black. This kind of thing would be allowed, but this wouldn't. Right? That's kind of what I gathered from that. But my question is this allowed to an enormous extent, or can it be something? Does it need to be something simple? Unpredictable. The idea would be that you take a couple of we all submit kits, like suggestions. They could be anything. They could be like they could be a tractor, I think was an example that was given, or a World War II airplane, or a model of the Zeppelin, or a little tank or something like that, or a car, anything. It's just that the kit has to be it can't be a robot already, I think is what Drift was going for. But he didn't outwardly say no. Okay. So the putty can be used for filling and smoothing gaps, that sort of thing, creating some structural element. So I can't like sculpt an entire model out of putty. No, I wouldn't do that. But see, if you want me to play, it's going to need to be $20 less. I'm going to get a job. I'm going to get a job thing right now. I'm doing the get a job thing right now in New Hampshire. Is about to cut off unemployment. Oh no. Unpredictable. I feel for you. Unfortunately, I don't know if it'd be possible to keep it under $20. Sorry. We can talk. We'll talk later about that. So you could sculpt. So you wouldn't say sculpt a part of putty, right? Yeah. Okay. But a very thin layer of putty were used to add details, or maybe Yeah, or maybe we could use percentages or something, like no more than 5% of the kit can be putty, which basically immediately shuts down making parts. Yeah, I think though with this particular one unpredictable, we're not like, okay, we're going to be doing the PG Unicorn and the Verkos Zabi. We're going to do a kit bash with those two. So $800 investment. We're not doing that. Hey, Sweat Dr. Plastic. Or Sweater Plastic. Sweater Plastic? UG. Another Gundam builder. Ah, heck, why not? I'm not Swedish Doctor Plastic. I don't actually label myself a Gundam builder. I build all sorts of different sci-fi models. I don't just stick to Gundam. No worries, King Yuchi. But Swed, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. Big love. Tonight, for example, we're working on a full resin kit from Callamity's line. Kallamity is Lucas Zampriolo, who himself is a pretty popular builder on YouTube. This is 100% resin. These are some of the parts, but not Gundam, not Gunpla. So yeah, that's fascinating. I'm definitely into it, Drift. I'm definitely in on that when you do it. How long are you thinking we'll have? Short for Swedish. Unpredictable nailed it. Boom. I even like the idea of non-sci-fi kits. See the pace of work. Ooh, if there's no deadline. You know what I mean? Like if you keep it non-sci-fi, things can get really creative. And allow for a little bit of putty, a little bit of maybe some solder, a little bit of this, and a little bit of a couple greebles, that kind of thing. Although maybe greebles shouldn't be a part of it. Greeblies. I've got clay and paint. I could do that. Yeah. I don't know if that would work. Unpredictable. If there was a prompt and one could make the thing out of anything. A month upon start. Yeah, that's more like it. That's about how long most of the build challenges are, I think. Well, some of them are longer than that, but a month is good for this. Keeps things short and sweet. Cool. Anyway, I mean, I think it's a grand idea. And yeah, I personally am definitely game. I would definitely do that. I wouldn't stream any of it, though, because I wouldn't want to give anybody ideas. Oh, and that's a very good point from White Wolf, is are we expecting things to be painted? Or do we say paint it if you want, but painting won't be part of the judging? Right? Like, is it unfair? Because I know there's some people who aren't quite as set up to paint. At least I think there are people who aren't set up to paint. I can't remember. White Wolf, are you fully? You're fully kitted out to paint them. Why are you nervous? You've watched a few of my streams. You know how to do it. It's fine. Right? Slap some primer on, throw some hairspray in there somewhere, slap some more paint on, and jab at it with a brush. That's all I do. I should have said that in more of a David Mitchell accent. But, I mean, hey, it's easy. Speaking of, I should probably do some stuff here. And we treat it more like a NaNoWriMo sort of thing, where winning is finishing, and it's more about seeing what folks come up with. NaNoWriMo. I don't know. Is that a typo or a word I don't know? Because, you know, I do have smooth brain moments sometimes. I'm not that smart sometimes. National Novel Writing Month. I don't know what that is. You guys realize I live under a rock, right? Someone will have to fill me in. Is it kind of like some bullshit everybody's a winner kind of thing? Because those are dumb. Someone's always got to win. Technically, you only win if you write 50,000 words. And then you, like, but are there multiple winners? Okay, that one. All right. Okay, while you guys laugh at me for not knowing what NaNoWriMo means, personal challenge. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that, Drift. I'm not into personal challenges. I want straight up competition. And what's our prize? Are there prizes? And there needs to be consequences too. There should be consequences for people who lose. I'm kidding. You need entry fees for prizes. College football with high school drama? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I work in management, White Wolf. And so I like to create a sense of fear and foreboding. Winner gets to keep everyone's kids. Perfect. The problem with that is when we don't have judges who vote, so everybody just votes for their own kit, and it's a stalemate. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally fine with all of what you suggested. Motion detected in your driveway carport. It's a raccoon. No, we don't have moose on the island really. Well, we kind of do, but they're not down here. I would totally volunteer to be the judge. I don't know. Well, I don't see any wool on this one, so fail. Again, no wool or yarn used in this one. Fail. I'm completely impartial. Too funny. Too funny. How would the judging work? Well, White Wolf, that's the thing, right? Is it's a think tank model submission, right? So instead of so take some time out of your busy internet surfing schedule looking for $344.95 US kits and try to find some that are cheaper, right? And you would submit those to the collective, right? Is the idea. And so if you see one that speaks to you, you put that in as a suggestion, and maybe others will say, ooh, yeah, that's pretty cool. Can't bribe a girl who makes her own cookies. Did you know, though, Unpredictable, that White Wolf is actually one of the foremost authorities on amazing cookies? I don't know what that is. White Wolf is actually one of the original Keebler elves. How did you find out? Okay, that one's done. We're just going to finish these, and then we're going to move on to painting some other... We're going to do these ones tonight, I think. Get the shoulders done, and the arms. That's actually a good idea. Yeah, that's true. There is a flaw there. Perhaps it should be the biggest tape ball. But how do you honestly prove, right? Actually, I have started it. I have started using it, just not to the same level as others. Well, as someone who wants a $350 resin conversion kit, you need to start familiarizing yourself with tape. You need to start getting used to it. Oh, Keebler Elf. Those are is it Dare cookies? I can't remember. Or is it just Keebler, or is that the brand of cookies? I mean, we had them in Canada. We saw those commercials. White Wolf, I don't know how old you are, but I remember Keebler elves in various commercials for cookies. Who makes them? Is it like... It's not so much the over excessive use, Dr. Swid, but like this is... I mean, I wasn't excessive at all about using masking tape when I did the resin conversion kit. I can show it to you. That's the best place of finding that. Probably my Instagram. Oh, what's cable TV? Okay. So you don't remember these guys? Don't remember ever seeing the Keebler elves? Really? No. Wow. Huh. So this is the well, I'm yeah, it may very well not have been something that was broadcast outside of North America, but yeah, this is the Double Zeta, the Fortune Meow Studios Double Zeta resin conversion kit, and Swed. Can I call you Swede? I'm going to call you Swede. Or would you prefer Dr. Plastic? I'm going to go with Dr. Plastic. Sounds cool. The the thing with resin conversion kits is even though you have these details here, like where you have multiple colors, so there's 1, 2, 3 colors on this piece. There's no separation of the parts. This is all just one piece of resin. So you just have to you have to do a ton of masking, like a lot of masking, and that's just how the conversion kits are. Which is where this came from. So this giant ball of tape. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you were just being sarcastic or not, but I wouldn't say it's excessive use of masking tape. It's necessary but extreme use of masking tape. Reminds me of. The previous robot reminds me of Robot from a music video. Anyway, enough about me. What's everyone working on? I say this every stream, but links are always welcome in chat.
More tape for the tape god. More resin for the resin throne. More sprues for the sprues lord. More paint for the paint king.
More tape. White Wolf, thank you for the redeem. I regret nothing. Never regret. Never regret the sacrament of the tape god. That one actually startled me. This turned into unpredictable stream. I've created things that actually that I'm afraid of. I jest. So I want to go down here. Awesome. No, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. If I cut myself, I cut myself. They grow back. Unpredictable said they grow back. So it's okay. Up super late. Hey, D-Shen. How you doing? How you doing? Is this late for you? You're not late night? Late night with D-Shen Long ain't something that happens? Oh, shit, really? For some reason, I thought you were West Coast. Sorry, man. Yeah, no, for some reason, I thought you were, I thought you were West Coast. Good to see you, as always. How you doing? I'll refrain. Unpredictable. I'll refrain from saying it. Yeah, that's a drag. That's a drag. Insomnia like that. You've had trolls in your stream for Pride Month? What were they up to? Were you doing any Pride-specific things? I apologize, I just haven't connected with any of your latest streams like this last week. Because you're on just I apologize. I always feel bad when I miss stuff from people like yourself. But you're kind of on just as I'm kind of getting home and doing domestic chores. If only you could do more than ban them from your stream. I know, right? Or just if you press a button and it's like, you know, Thanos snap. They just cease to exist. Gone. That's pretty harsh. I use various tags that they've been targeting. Yeah. That's too bad. But tell me more about this rainbow house. What have I missed? That sounds hilarious. Unless it was meant to be serious, in which case it sounds serious. I wouldn't get rid of them, but their junk would be gone. Oh no! Is that from something? That seems like it's... Oh, it was from Black Mirror. The Black Mirror episode, right? With the on the it was where they spoofed kind of the Star Trek one, right? Didn't the captain kind of just... Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you remember the one I'm talking about? The where they're on the where it's kind of a play on Star Trek, and they're trapped on this spaceship in this guy's virtual reality system. Do you remember that one vaguely? I can look it up in a minute. Oh, okay. Well, I won't spoil it then. I won't spoil anything of it if you haven't seen it. It was a good one. Oh, you got to stick with that series. The pig one is very disturbing, and it's kind of like, I'm not so sure if I want to watch this series, but it gets so much better. Yeah, the pig mask one was... Yeah. Hey, no worries, White Wolf. Thank you so much for coming. Take care, my friend. I saw earlier up there in chat you were talking with Etchibat about her compressor. I don't know. I hope you got some answers there as far as some of those were concerned. Like I was saying though before, just as a quick recap to that Discord conversation we were having is, I think that I think yeah, definitely look at the Grex airbrush if you really want to just deal with something that's good on your carpal or whatever you have, the repetitive stress injury that you've got. And if you're good with trigger ones, yeah, that one. I mean, even I know that Jason from ProAcryl uses it, the Grex airbrush, and loves it, absolutely loves it. So it's definitely worth it. And it has all the options with the different reservoirs and the different needles. And then yeah, I would say if that compressor has the has both the, he's the one that told you about Grex. Awesome, perfect. So now two random strangers on Twitch have told you about Grex. It must be perfect. Yeah, I think that's probably the way to go. And the PowerJet Pro, sorry, is definitely, I would say, the one that if I didn't have the setup that I have, I would probably be looking very seriously into that one. And I understand that the setup I have is impossible for somebody who lives in like a townhouse or an apartment, or you said you're not in a house, so yeah, you can't really do what I do without without the neighbors wondering what that thing is in the hallway and does it need to be there. Oh, well, you can't. Yeah. You can't really go by merchants for that reason sometimes, Donna, for everyone wondering, is a person who runs Maple Airbrush, which is a store in Calgary that sells a lot of airbrush equipment, but they only do Iwata, Harder, and Steenbeck, and there's another one. Sparmax? Is it Sparmax? Yeah. Fair enough. Badger do make good products, though. Like Sparmax, yeah. Oh, she's in Edmonton. Okay. What do I know? Usually, little to nothing. I thought you said, oh, it was the Grex dealer that was in Calgary. Wasn't it? That's what I was perhaps thinking. Etchibat, have you ever used a Grex? Yeah, they do look cool. And TJ, I don't know if you're still around, but if you are, that dragon's looking sweet. TJ's been posting pictures of his assembly of the Creature Caster Dragon on Discord. It's looking really good. Okay, one more of these to do. No. Several more to do. Two more to do. Oh yeah, sorry, White Wolf. You were leaving when I. Yeah. Good night, my friend. Take care. Take care. Have a good one. Get some rest. Have sweet Dom conversion kit dreams. Oh, look, little spider. I can't kill it because I might get banned. There. We're good. I did a little more work on the big 1/35th scale today. I'm not going to show any of it though. But I'm just going to gradually kind of get that, get all the pieces, like I'm going to pin it. I'm going to get it all pinned and able to be assembled, but I'm not going to do any painting. You know, so I've been filling the parts better with that wood filler, which is doing an admirable job. Doesn't shrink at all. It's incredibly hard, and gives a lot of weight to it. That on there. Okay, so there should be, that one's done. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are ready. I just need to put some tape in front of one little part on all of these, because we're only painting a tiny little bit of this. Here, because we only want to paint that area on each of them. That one's done already. It's good. 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 All right. Hairspray. Let's paint. Done. All right. Hey, baby squish. Masking worst, best part. Yeah, I mean, I always just got to keep it in my head that despite how tiresome it can be, that end result, right? It's going to be good. How are you doing this evening? Hope you're well. It's cathartic, exactly. It is. You get that reveal. You get that big reveal at the end.
Cruising down Santa Monica Boulevard with the top down. Tear
Having a drink and hanging.
has just
Nice.
joined chat.
Tear 23, welcome aboard. How are you doing? Good to see you again. Good to see you again. Hope all is well with you. You drinking anything fun, Baby Squish? Any good cocktail recipes you can share? Tear, how was your day? Busy? A solid 8 out of 10. Vodka and Crystal Light mixed drinks. Nice. That's okay. I'm having gin and a Schweppes cranberry ginger ale. No, blood orange ginger ale. So, Corvus Oculum, seal of approval. I don't know. I mean, we have it. Here I can show you what it looks like. I don't know where you're located. It's not sparkling soda, though. Yeah, it's this guy here. This guy here. I don't know if that's available in the States. It's good though, and it's a diet drink. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm having. It's delicious, even without the gin. Tear, I've had a pretty good day. Pretty good day. My day was mostly manual labor. We're building a new shed, and I built the wood sort of platform that the shed's going to sit on. It was ungodly expensive for a 12-foot by 8-foot platform of 2x4s and sheeting. How much do you think something like that would cost? Tear. I believe you're Canadian, so you're aware of the our current lumber crisis and things. So, 3,000? No, that's too high. You were definitely the closest guess. It was $1,300. Sheets of pressure-treated plywood, 4x8 plywood, $220 Canadian. Can you believe that? It's bonkers. Do I get to pick a door? No. You get nothing. Because I'm grumpy because of it. Yeah, it's insane. It's just insane. Well, it's one of the reasons, babe. Baby squish. You get nothing. Nada. Zilch. Zero. Charlie. You get nothing! You lose. After all the conjuring, do the original Willy Wonka. Do the original Willy Wonka, D-Shen. After all the conjuring movies. And then we can all get LSD, and we can do it right in time for the boat trip. So it kicks in right when they're going on that crazy fucking boat. When the weird elevator scene happens and shit, yeah. For me, it was the boat ride. Jesus. Hey, Brad EQ, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, it was insane. Now, I was a little too aggressive on this one, peeling the tape. Pulled a little... I guess I had some bad adhesion right there with the primer. So it came out. You can see the blue of the resin. That's okay, though. I can just fix it with the oils after. Man, that movie. Easy. My fear of drowning came from the Augustus scene. I always loved it, man. No wonder I'm into horror games. Yeah. You know what game I was thinking about the other day? And by the other day, I mean earlier today. Dishen, or anybody, actually, I know you're all gamers. Do you remember, or did you ever play... shit, what was it? What was his name? American McGee's Alice? Is it called American McGee's Alice? Yeah. Man, would I love to see a remaster of that. Hey? Oh, I only played the first one. Should I get the second one? Maybe I played the second one. I definitely remember playing the first one and thinking, this is awesome. Okay, we're good here. Is that water? Yes. The platforming is really tough, yeah. But I remember that just the sort of the theme and everything behind that game was just, oh, I loved it at the time. Yeah, it was very sort of distorted and dark gothic. Yeah, like Dishen said there. Just gonna grab a paper towel. Hey, Baby Squish, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. I've been meaning to, Dishan, but I haven't really. I have pretty limited time for gaming, and right now I'm sort of stumbling my way through the Mass Effect reissues. Might need a stiffer brush. Oh, there we go. Play Gundam Breaker 3. Okay, just jump right to that. Don't need to play any of the other ones. I mean, I will if you say so, because you know your shit. We're just worrying away some of the paint here where the hairspray was. Some of it's a little tougher to get off than the others because it's sat for a day. Well, the only two with English are those, and the new Gundam Breaker removed a ton of the stuff from the previous games. It made them great. That's pretty sweet. I'll definitely check that out. I've watched a few people playing it on stream and thought about it, but I have a tendency to play. I game like sometimes even after I stream, so it's really late. And it's funny because I don't know if you were in stream when I mentioned it, but Etchibat's been talking about Mass Effect, and on her stream the other night, you know, she was talking about that, you know, that feeling she had when she finally got back into the Normandy and the music played and how great it was. And I realized then that I'm like, holy shit, I've like spent the entire game up to that point just fucking wandering around the Citadel completing missions. Because I'm playing it so late at night, I'm kind of a little, you know, dopey about it. And I literally had a moment where I'm like, oh fuck, the Normandy. And I look at Steam and there's like 7 hours of gameplay total, and none of it was on the ship at all. Like, what the hell? Yeah. So, Baby Squish, the what the hairspray is like an alcohol-based adhesive. It's a very light alcohol-based adhesive, and you can use it. It's very commonly used for chipping effects, where you spray a layer of it down, and you paint over it with acrylics. It has to be acrylics, and then you just use some water and a bristle brush afterwards to worry away the layer of paint that you put on. And you can use it. It works very similarly to the AK Interactive chipping fluid, and it's just a really easy way to get that weathered effect without buying some fancy product. And it's been used in scale modeling for a long time. It usually actually works better than what's happening right now with these, because I painted all these and then kind of got tired, or ended the stream last night and kind of walked away from them for the day, which I shouldn't have done. You should really do it right away. Etchibat, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Gifting 1 month, tier 1 sub to Baby Squish. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh shit. I take that all back, Etchibat. Sorry. This is just completely spaced. It's like, I'm sorry. I saw your cat jam there and thought it was you. I apologize. Tear, credit where credit's due. Big love, big love, the biggest love. Thank you. Apologies for everyone. How embarrassing. It was Tear. The printer's lying. What did you say, Dishan? Is it mandatory to smack the report even when you're Paragon? I don't play Paragon. I just say all the bad things. It's more fun. 7 hours of news reports. Yeah. I don't skip them either. I just listen to them. I know all the shit that's going on. Do one more there. Down in Dishen, thank you. Thank you for continuing your sub. Much appreciated. That's one weird thing with the script for the sub printer is when you continue, it doesn't trigger it. I wish it did. I should do something with that. Got my founders. My issue with the script printer, the receipt printer, is it's all written in like Visual Basic, which I'm not comfortable with. Because I was trying to also code it to work with followers. I think I just about have that working, but that's an annoying little thing it does where it doesn't. If you continue your subscription, it doesn't work. It doesn't do it, which it should. It's bullshit. Want to get into figs though. Been weathering Nerf blasters lately for fun. Yeah, that's a big thing. My son wanted to do that when he had a whole bunch of Nerf guns. Cool. That one's good. One more. Big in the Nerf scene lately, yeah. He just sold all his. Because he literally just plays VR. He just plays VR now. What was the thing he said to me today? It was really funny. He used to do the VR chat. He used to go into VR chat, and they had an Among Us type game going on in there, and he would play that because he enjoyed Among Us. And it's neat. I mean, I played it too in there. It was fun. But apparently nobody that he knows plays it anymore. And he said his exact words that Chibat were something like, yeah, I uninstalled it because Among Us was fun, but then I went and started like doing the other stuff in there, and it got really weird and uncomfortable. Yeah, that's my boy. All them dudes playing anime girls. Yup. I'll just leave that. Alright, so those are done. Those are done. We can put those aside. Did you watch when Chan played? Was that recent? Like, recent this year? end of last year. It was so sketchy. It's super sketchy. VR chat is super sketchy. That's the best way of describing it. Who's the YouTuber I saw play it that was... Oh, it was Donkey. Donkey's YouTube on VR chat is pretty funny too. Oni VR chat? I'll have to check that one out. Alright, let's get a clip on this. Dunk is always a pleasure, yeah. Zound in VR chat. So just Baby Squish, just a coat of hairspray. I use this one. Tresemme Tray 2 Ultrafine Mist. It's professional quality. Qualité professionnelle. Because, you know, Quebec. For that extra shine, that's right. Then we use a hairdryer, literally, and we just dry it off. And then we do it again. Yeah, you just want it to be even. Doesn't have to be really thick. Doesn't have to be dripping. And we dry it again. No need to wait for it to dry. Just use a hairdryer. I use random spritz. And when it's done, you'll see it has kind of a sheen. You know, here's the hairsprayed one. We'll just do them one at a time, though. We have to prime that piece. All right, let's go over here. Clean this out. This here. It's a Harder and Steenbeck Infinity CR Plus. Bat. Hey, Jack. Good morning. Lewd. That's empty. Just need to get another pot of paint here. Hang on. Etchybat has a bit of a... She has a bit of a crush on my airbrush. Yeah, I would say it's... I mean... I guess it define expensive, like it's a few $100s. It's not an entry level brush, you know? I mean, what is it? How much does anyone know how much it costs in the States? And then after the hairspray, I'm using Tamiya X20A thinner with Tamiya Cockpit Green XF71, also an acrylic, but an alcohol-based acrylic. Right, yeah, okay. So I was a little off. 300. So yeah, I guess that's an expensive airbrush, is it? How much is a Iwata? Their what is it? Their Micron Precision or Pro or whatever it is. It's a little more, I think. It costs a little more than this one. I'm purposely not making it super even. I forgot to hairspray the inside, so I won't paint that yet. Yeah, you see, the Micron is about 500. So in a way, the Harder and Steenbeck might be a bit of a better deal, because it certainly has the It has the quality, I think, of the Micron. The only thing it lacks feature-wise from the Micron is the Micron has an air valve, an air setting underneath the cup, which the Harder and Steenbeck doesn't have. Oh, I use a 0.4 in it pretty much all the time. How long did you have your first pistol before you realized it was time for an upgrade to a new one? You know what? I never really needed to upgrade. I just decided I wanted one with some more features. You know, I think that an airbrush, if it's not total garbage, right? I mean, it's the sort of thing that as you go up in price, it's not going to help you at all. All you're really buying are convenience features, or perhaps niche sort of use features, right? So I never remember the names of them, but I'm sure Etchybat will step in if necessary. But for example, Iwata makes some very, very, very fine line. What is it? Is it the HPTS or CH or I'm literally just saying consonants. But they make some very specialized ones for doing very, very small detail work, and other ones for other things. And so it's kind of like you're not, if you go out and buy like this is an Iwata Eclipse HPCS. This was my first airbrush that was a dual action. And there's really no reason to go beyond this for this hobby, if that makes sense. This is fine. But what do you get with the more expensive airbrush, like the Harder and Steenbeck? Well, you get a removable cup. You get 2 cups, right? That's exactly it. This is a great all-around airbrush. You can do just about, and if you get good enough at using this, you can do just about anything with it, kind of thing, right? So you have this airbrush. Stop it. You have this airbrush, and you think, well, I'm going to get the Harder and Steenbeck. The Harder and Steenbeck will paint no better than this, right? Like it's just as good in terms of paint. This is just as good in terms of painting. But what you do get are a better design. So the Harder and Steenbeck, the way that it breaks apart, the way that you can pull the needle out, take the end off, take the back off, take the cup off, it's really, really smart. And if you're using it and you think, okay, I want to swap out the needle, that's even easier too. I mean, you just, like, everything is coded to each other. You don't screw up parts. It has fewer parts up front. There's really just the Harder and Steenbeck has the funnel, not the funnel, sorry, the air cap, the nozzle, and that's it. You just unscrew the one thing from the front. If it wasn't full of paint, I'd show you. Maybe I'll have time after I can show you. And you pull it. The Iwatas, I think, are needlessly complicated up here. They're always a pain. But yeah, removable cup. 3 different sizes of needles, I think. I only have the 4 and the 2. But yeah, I mean, it's a great airbrush, and like Etchybat said, it looks really nice. It's very impressive. No, that's just it. It's got fewer parts to disassemble, really. I'll take it apart, and after I've weathered this and this one, we'll clean up, because it's almost 1 o'clock. I'm not going to go as late as I did last night tonight, because my body hurts. Got H&S Ultra on advice of a local airbrush shop. So which one is the Ultra? See, I'm not too familiar with some of the other lines. of the Harder and Steenbeck. I know TJ has a Harder and Steenbeck as well. I think he got the Eclipse. Or am I thinking of something else? No, the Evolution. Evolution. Yeah, that's it. Which is the Harder and Steenbeck, I think, equivalent to the HPCS, right? But it still uses the same kind of. Setup with the nozzle and the needles, so it works really well. It's the starter set. Great. Yeah. Echibat, have you seen the Harder and Steenbeck trigger one? The Calibri, I think it's called, or the... Oh no, careful with that manual labor. I know. I mean, don't get me wrong, Ter. I love work. I do. I love physical labor. Kaliba, that's the one. Yeah, Calibri. I love physical labor. I love it, Ter. I could watch people work and do physical labor all day long. All right. So you just get the parts a little wet. Let me see if I can get the brightness up a bit here so you can see this a bit better. And then once it's wet, you can just touching it takes the paint off, right? So we can come in here on the edge, and we can just weather that paint right away, like that. Now I don't want to do too much, right? Because too much weathering kind of spoils it. You want to get your edges. So just add moisture, right? Add a little moisture to it. And then it'll come up really easily, like that. Got a supervisor here. All right, Echibat, take care. Thank you so much for the gift sub to King Yuchi. Have yourself a great Sunday. Take care. Take care. All right, Dishan, you too. Take care, my friend. Have a good one. Look forward to the next movie night. That's not tomorrow, is it? Is that tomorrow? Nope. Okay. Wasn't sure. All right, my friend, take care. Have a great night. Sleep well. Cheers. Yeah, so just a little bit of weathering here and there. I like getting edges and ridges. And I'm just using kind of a coarse bristled brush to do this. It's totally artistic choice. If I was doing something that wasn't fantasy, like a fantasy scale model like this, I shouldn't say fantasy, but like science fiction, I would probably try to find reference art. I mean, I could be doing that for this too, but this is supposed to just be kind of a fun build, not an ultra realistic one. But yeah, you can go and get, you create a reference library of weathered old-looking tanks and machines, construction equipment. See where what rust patterns look like, where it ends up kind of landing for the most part. You see, I know that these sorts of edges, they do tend to wear, right? So it makes sense to chip them there, right? So that's kind of the approach that I'd use. But right now I'm just kind of just putting it where I think it looks nice. Corners and such, yeah. And where there's a sort of a bump that might just incur a little more wear just for its exposure. The other thing too is if there was an access panel, on top of a vehicle where there was a hatch, and that hatch, the area between, say, that hatch and the little ladder down the side, I would weather, because you'd think that somebody would be going in and out of that all the time. So you can think of little things like that too. That's right, yeah. Karoo! Welcome. How are you doing? All right, a little more over here. Down around the bottom edge, because that's where paint's going to drip off. Not paint, sorry, rain. So you would expect it to be far more worn. Over here. How do you know when too much? I don't know. You just kind of I think it just kind of comes with what the look you're going for with the machine. There's a difference between, I guess, for something like this, where you have this is a functional machine, right? This is a a tank kind of a war machine that's used. It's still in use, right? So, but maybe it's because of what it is or where it's stationed, it's perhaps a little bit neglected. And, it's not parade ready. It's a well-worn, purpose-built machine that's doing a job of blowing shit up or whatever. And so they haven't had time to kind of keep it super clean, super perfect. And but at the same time, so that's like, to me, that's kind of this level of weathering, which is what I'm going for. But yeah, you have to think about the world it's active in. That's great. That's right. But then at the same time, you don't want to go to the point where it's like it looks like it's been derelict in a field, right, for 100 years. Maybe you do want that, right? Maybe you do want that, but that's not what I'm going for. So I think we'll stop the weathering on this part there, because I'm happy with that. Because there's more that I'll do to it as well, right? Like I'll add on some of the pieces, I have this second color that I add a little stripe or a little detail in. Here's the sort of armor bells that go down at the feet. And that's the other thing as well, is placement. The placement on the model is important as well, right? Because these are kind of like shins way down at the bottom of the mech, right? Like that. These are his feet. And so you'd think that the feet are going to be dirtier. There's going to be more brown tones and things like that with them. And this armor, I just figured, is because of where it lands, it's going to be, yeah, he's in mud and stuff, right? This armor probably would be more worn because it's going to be like, as he moves forward, it's going to be running into shit, right? It's going to be hitting trees and crap. So I weathered it a little more heavily. So yeah, I just got to think about that sort of stuff, right? And then when we get into the oil paint rendering, which is kind of the last step, the top of the mech, right up here, this is its head. Let me zoom out a bit. This is the head and the back. Don't let the shininess bother you. That'll all get matted out. I'll probably weather in some sun damage on the top with some lighter oil paints. That's the engine. Completely hidden. Luca puts a ton of detail into all of his pieces. I don't know if you were here for when we did this part. This is a spring that's in there that we sort of kit bashed in. Yeah, like it's been sitting in the sun. That's exactly it. So, I mean, that's kind of the process that I use. It's a pretty fun one. Thanks, Ter. I appreciate it. Jack, you asked a question up here. Sorry. Kara says, you're tired. Body woke up at this hour for some yet unknown reason. Sorry, Corvus, one more airbrush point. You have 2 airbrush pistols. Why different needles or hand for 2 colors? Okay, so don't think that a smaller sized needle will necessarily help you achieve finer details. That really comes more with the air pressure and just your own skill. All right. It is easier, certainly, to do fine details with a small needle, but at the same time, it's having the small needle won't let you paint really big blasts of areas, whereas the bigger needle will let you paint smaller details. By simply turning down the air pressure. Now, so I always recommend people to start with with like the larger needles, not like a 5 or a 0.5, but like a 0.3 or a 0.4. They work well for just about everything. So like Jack, the question, I guess, to if you're determining what kind of needle you should be getting is, A, what are you painting? B, what kind of paints are you using? Those are the two really big points. And in answer to the sort of the latter half of your question, having multiple airbrushes for multiple colors is really, really handy. Really handy. You know, I'd encourage people to, you know, if you want to discuss airbrushes or get tips from both myself, Etchibat, and there's a number of other people on the Discord who are, you know, they do this a lot. You know, do hit, it's just !Discord. Do sign up for our Discord and ask anything you want on our Discord. We're very, very happy to answer anything. We love talking about this stuff. It's a feeling, a point you get. That's enough. That's exactly what it is, Karu. You kind of have it in your head. You know, when you're doing kits like this, at least for me, I'm always thinking about what the end game is going to be. This one is going to be on a small diorama in a sort of a marshy wetlands type or field. I'm going to have some footprints that have some puddle in the bottom of them, of this device, like where it's stepped. And so it's kind of like it's ready to go on scene. It's in use. It's just been a little bit neglected because it's been on the battlefront. So it's not completely weathered to shit, like it's just been derelict for a while, but it's been through some stuff. Yeah, there's the Discord there. So just jump in there, and there's a help and help and crit type channel in there. That yeah, we're all a very, very friendly bunch. Questions pop up. You can ask. I'm not saying don't ask me questions by any stretch of the imagination on stream. But if for whatever reason anything comes to you after stream or some other time, we're in there all the time, like almost all day long. Walking through grass will do damage. Anything bigger adds its own flavor. That's right. That's right, Karu. Yep. Practice on a spare sprue. Find a bit of plastic. Practice on it. Yeah, absolutely. Or you know, if you built a kit, Baby Squish, that you didn't that you have some parts left over, just go for it there. The thing with the hairspray though, just to remember is and I don't know, this kind of gets some people who are trying to get into it, is as your base layer, like as your base paint, ideally you want to use like a lacquer or an enamel, because it's just that much hardier. It's just that much more it's stronger when you put the water and everything on it. And so just keep that in mind. If you can get an enamel, like an enamel or a lacquer in there, that's perfect. Now if you don't have access to like an airbrush booth and doing like this is just Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 Black is all I use for this. So the chipping that you see is actually the primer in the case of these parts. But you can also get a number of rattle can primers in different colors as well, and they work fine. They work fine. You just want to make sure you have you could use an acrylic, but you'd have to be really careful, because just a little too much of the weathering with the brush and the water and the hairspray, and you're right back down to the plastic. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I use this as my primer. I like lacquers. I have a spray booth. I have airbrushes. Lacquers, spray booths, and airbrushes make for fun. Make for a fun, easy paint. They just airbrush really, really well. But you absolutely have to have a spray booth. Yeah, and you don't need to buy one. You can absolutely make one. Super easy to do. I would say that if you don't have you need to exhaust. Yeah. They absolutely need to exhaust outside. They need to exhaust outside with lacquers. Lacquers are pretty bad shit. Oh yeah, okay, that's what you meant by spare sprue. Yeah, absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Any spare parts is perfect for practicing on. Perfect for practicing on. So I have the spray booth that you see here, this one. Okay, that spray booth, it was nothing fancy. It was purchased off Amazon. You know, you can get them. They fold up into a little carrying case, which of course is a feature that I don't think anyone ever uses. They just set them up and leave them on their desk. And it comes with a fan in the back and a great big hose, and usually like a slotted sort of attachment that you can put in a window if you have a sliding window, one that slides up or sideways. So that's what I use, but mine's a bit different because I actually don't have the I use a separate booster fan. It's like it looks like a snake that's eaten something. There's a great big bulge in the pipe that goes outside that has another fan in it that adds a lot of extra suction to it. And then I don't actually have mine going into the window because I live in Canada. It gets cold, you know. So mine is actually piped into a dedicated flap vent that goes through the wall out to the outside. So I sort of have a permanent installation. One day, actually, I have some kits on the way that are large enough that I will very likely outgrow this particular spray booth sometime later this year, and I will be building my own, but I'll still use the same booster fans and the flap to the outdoor. Jack, thank you so much for that. Big love. Jack, thank you. Much appreciated. Gifting the 1 month sub to Karu. Thank you. Just trying to find somebody to raid. Turn your basement into a workshop? Right on. Just because it's awesome to hear. Well, I know. We'll raid into Aaron tonight. All right, everybody. It's time for me to shut this down. I've had a bit of a brutal day, doing a lot of manual labor, building a shed, and my body hurts. I'll be back on at the earlier time slot, which is about 6:30 PST to around 9 o'clock on Wednesday. Stick around for the raid. Aaron's a great guy. He is a very talented mini painter, yeah, it was fun as always. I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday, and thank you, Jack, for the sub. Thank you, Tear for the sub. Thank you, Etchibat for the sub. And thank you, Baby Squish, for the follow. Hope to see you around. Swede, thank you for the follow. Hope to see you around too. Take care, everybody. Take care, Tear. Take care, Unpredictable. Sleep well. All right. I'm out of here. Good night. Bye, Drift. Bye. Bye, Unpredictable.